views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Welcome to the Kelly Ballard Show. Insight and inspiration from the great beyond. Kelly Ballard is a fourth-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from your loved ones on the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Now, here's your host, Kelly Ballard.
Hey, good afternoon and hello everyone. I'm Kelly Ballard and you are listening to the Kelly Ballard Show, insight and inspiration from the great beyond on Transformation Talk Radio. I am so glad that you joined me today and thank you all for sharing that brilliant energy of yours with me. We're going to do some awesome things together with Spirit and I am so glad that you are on this journey. So, we have a phenomenal show lined up for you today, and I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this all week, and I cannot wait to get into things in just a few moments with my wonderful guest who is making his second appearance on our show. I hope that you'll stay with me for the next hour as we open up our hearts and our minds to connect in with Spirit and educate ourselves with divine energy. Each week, as you know, we cover a variety of topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, animal communication, healing, listening to your intuition, and so much more. And if you're wondering how you can find me outside of Transformation Talk Radio, you can always check out my website at reflectiveharmony.com for more information on how to schedule a private reading with me in my upstate New York office or also over the phone. I read for clients all over the United States and internationally. And you can also read about some of my upcoming classes and webinars and all that good stuff you can find online there. So as I mentioned, we've got a wonderful show and I hope that you will get comfy and stay with me for the next hour. You're going to have your socks knocked off, your way of thinking changed, and perhaps some of you may even start looking at life a little differently after today's show. I know that I absolutely did after some of my personal experiences with today's guest and actually even listening to the replay of the show back in August when my guest was on. So as you know, we have the best callers that reach out during the show, and I hope that you'll consider calling in today and talking with our wonderful guest, Jimmy Mack. And you can reach us at 800-930-2819. Grab your pen and paper, jot this down. That's 800-930-2819. And we're going to take callers today to talk a little bit about your energy field, what's going on, what can be corrected, what can be healed. Like I said, prepare to get your socks knocked off. And if you want to follow along with today's show, you can check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/reflectiveharmonykmb for more information as well. So let's get into the good stuff. So have you ever given any thought to the idea that all change begins and ends with working on ourselves? Do you realize that everything and anything around us, within us, and besides us is energy? When we can get a clear answer of whether our energetic frequency is vibrating at a yes or a no, then we have a direction to create change. That the real power is not in the intuition or even asking the question. It's in the ability to actually change and shift the energy yourself. We can come to a place where even physical, emotional, and spiritual challenges can be released, and we can return to a place of what Jimmy Mack calls neutrality. I am honored and thrilled to have Jimmy Mack back on today's show. Jimmy is a medical intuitive and spiritual life coach, currently residing in Clearwater, Florida. Jimmy has had decades of time working with clients around the globe on a wide range of challenges, diseases, and disorders. He's practiced a variety of modalities over the years, including a Reiki master, psychic development classes, remote viewing, theta healing, access consciousness, reconnective healing. He's a certified practitioner in matrix energetics and a certified shaman with a doctorate in divinity. After his own near-death experience changed his life forever, he is now gifted with the increased ability to read people's energy fields and access realms and frequencies that help to create profound change. He's melded these experiences and what he considers the best of the best into what he now practices and teaches to his clients worldwide. He's authored 4 books and offers simple techniques to create profound change, including a process he calls My Liquid Fish. So, Jimmy, welcome back to today's show. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me back. And I love your voice and your energy, and it's just dreamy. So, and I love the intro music too, by the way. And certainly during my NDE that I had, that's really the kind of music that I was hearing coming out of my body. So for you to play that just gives me chills. So
thank you.
So in tune to even pick that type of music for an intro for your show. I love it. So
thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes.
A very dear friend of mine created that actually for one of my guided meditation CDs. So it's sentimental in many, many ways. So thank you for a compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome. And they definitely had to have been tuned in if they came up with that, because that's good stuff right there.
Oh,
so
definitely.
That's the cosmic soup, if you will. So.
Oh, thank you. So, Jimmy, I know I've got a lot of people that are just tuning into the show for the first time, and especially who maybe haven't gone through the archives and listened to the show back when you were here in August. So your journey to me with spirit is absolutely fascinating, and I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about what brought you into this spiritual healing arena and talk a little bit more about your near-death experience.
Sure. The basics, I grew up very Western. My father was in the medical field for many, many years, decades. I grew up in the Episcopal Church. I was an acolyte. I was, pretty much doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, and as Western as you could get. But I was always fascinated by the psychic phenomenon, spiritualism, and really after I went off to college, I went to all the spirituals churches and seances and your type of realm and psychic stuff. And so I just loved all that. So I've been fascinated with that for a very long time and really sat at the feet of many masters and a lot of different modalities. And I know you mentioned it, just a few of them even. So I ran down all those roads as hard and fast as I could. I actually was at a healing seminar. It was in South Florida, and I got really, really sick. And to this day, I probably had food poisoning. But at the time, they decided to take out my gallbladder, and that wasn't the problem. The problem was they gave me too much anesthesia, so they about killed me. I woke up with full-blown clinical pneumonia, and it's bad times when all the chairs of the department come walking into your hospital room, and of course they didn't think I was funny. I thought I was funny. I said, "You guys must have really screwed up." And they said, "Why do you say that?" And I said, "Because there's no students with you."
Oh.
Yeah, it's a teaching hospital. So you just for everybody who's ever listening, if you're ever in the room and everybody from 4 and 5, 6 different departments walks in, it's not to tell you how great you're doing.
Seriously.
Yeah. So they said to me, "Oh, you may have been sick when you came in here. We're not sure. We don't know. It's pneumonia, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "No, I really wasn't sick when I came in here." And they go, "Well, we can't rely on that, et cetera, et cetera." And I said, "Well, you better do some more work." And they said, "Why do you say that?" I say, "Because all the tests I had done were at one of your ancillary hospitals that you own before I got here. And you could just watch the blood run out of their faces, So it didn't take a genius to figure out, they'd given me too much anesthesia. And it's very common now that I understand it more. And so I said to the surgeon, I'd never had surgery before my whole life, never broke a bone, nothing. And I said to him, he goes, "Well, we could leave you here. We could put you in ICU." And I said, "Pretend I'm your best friend, your brother, your uncle, your little brother, your father. What would you do?" He goes, "Oh, I'd put you in ICU." And I said, "Lead the way."
Yep.
So, yeah. And so that was rough. And of course, I had the little balloon things, little floaty things around my ankles. And they were concerned to death about blood clots and everything else. But I just had full-blown pneumonia. And I was up there, and they really didn't think I'd make it. And it was like I coded out every night and was leaving my body, and it was mystical, magical. And I tell everybody I didn't see Jesus or white light. I saw really mystical, magical, cool, deep inner space. The easiest way to tell people is it looks like the covers of my books. It looks like deep inner space from the Hubble Space Telescope pictures. In fact, I got permission from NASA to do one of my book covers. It was one of their pictures. So that was the similar stuff I was going up into. And of course, I got yanked back in my body because, there's no real doctors on at midnight-ish. It was always a nurse, thank God, that saved me. So I have a new profound respect for the nurses, too. God love them. But I had very profound experiences and sights and sounds and heard music and angelic things, and really a lot of music, like I mentioned early on, for real. It was like your intro.
Right.
So, it did a couple things, to be honest with you. It made me no longer ever be afraid of dying, which I was probably... Was I afraid of dying? Not really. But when I look at it now, it's like now I'm really not afraid of dying because I know what's going to happen. And two is I really don't think I'm coming back, obviously, because I think I'm going up into the full-blown cosmic soup.
Right.
So that then leads me down the road of, hey, I'm going to help and contribute to anybody and everybody that I can, all the way to the door, as much as I can, for as long as I can, until I'm gone. So I'm just going to run, and help everybody that needs help. And so that's what it did for me.
Oh, fantastic.
I did a lot of different types of healing and things, but what came through was really what they showed me was infinity. Looks like the 8 laying on its side, and Spirit said to take off pretty much the back end, probably about the 30% of the back end on the left side, and what you're left with is a fish.
Yeah.
It looks like a little kid drawing with a crayon. If you gave a 3-year-old a crayon and he drew a fish with his fist, that's really what it looks like. And anything that's negative, I call it, it would be earth negative weakness on the bottom left, and the top left would be heaven positive strength. So it's kind of a little roller coaster movement ride of getting rid of the negative and going to heaven and downloading the positive things you don't have. And you touched on it great, which is we really come to a place where if you're listening to this, you're already hopefully there. And that is there's energy in everything, in the Skype and in our call, in our bodies.
Absolutely.
Everything. So you get to that place. Secondly is you want to figure out a way to get it.
Let me have you hold that thought for 1 minute.
Sure.
Just got to sneak to a break. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond. We've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk with Jimmy a little bit more about my liquid fish, and I'm hoping Jimmy will give us a demonstration on air so we can start taking some callers to see what we can work with them. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, she musters a smile for his nostalgic tale.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Vadili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Listen live to The Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond. Kelly is a 4th-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in to The Kelly Ballard Show, Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Are you seeking a more deeply connected and fulfilling life? Do you often find yourself feeling overwhelmed, overworked, or exhausted? Are you ready to embrace a life filled with more love, connection, and joy? Best of the month list and 5-star rated on Amazon, Conscious Being by author TJ Woodward will awaken you to your true nature. To learn more about how to get your copy of Conscious Being, visit consciousbeingbook.com today.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
1230 WBLQ. Trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, she musters a smile.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond with me, Kelly Ballard. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you're just tuning in and have a moment, be sure to check out the latest posting on my Facebook page about today's show. And we'll have an archive of the show up on my website, reflectiveharmony.com, at some point tomorrow as well. So we are talking to the very, very wonderful Jimmy Mack, medical, intuitive, and spiritual life coach. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, we are taking callers all show for you guys to connect in with Jimmy. And that number that you can call is 800-930-2819. That's 800-930-2819. And Jimmy, if people want to find you on the web, how can they do that?
That would be jimmymackhealing.com. It's JIMMYMACK healing, HEALING.com.
Perfect. Thank you. So, Jimmy, before we went to break, you were just about starting the beginning to talking to us about My Liquid Fish. So I want to dive back in and hear a little bit more about that.
You bet. The first premise we had touched on really is that everything is energy, and we explored that pretty well. The second piece I would say to everybody is you want to figure out a way to get a yes or no response. Some people it's heavy and light, how they feel. Other people, it goes back to days of using dowsing rods or pendulums, and a lot of people use applied kinesiology or muscle testing or standing testing. And then once you get an answer, hopefully you get cleaned up enough that you can get a good answer, then certainly the power is in changing it. And the intuition is extremely important. I don't mean to ever really play that down. It certainly would help you, but it's not 100% necessary. I've had people that might be doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, or engineer that are the least intuitive types of people you ever met, but they could still do this and they still experience results. And so, although it's, obviously the more intuitive you are, the wilder stuff can happen for you too. So there's that. So I think there's all types of realms with that. But yeah, we'll have you stand up and rock some stuff out, see what we can change. And we're just going to change everything for the critical mass of whoever's listening to this show now and in the future. And we're going to start, if you're standing due north right now, you want to be about hip width. It's strong mountain pose and yoga, about a foot in between your feet. And I like to do due north because you don't need to do it with a pendulum, but standing testing you would. I think it does make a difference. So we'll start with I am clear and see if you go forward, back, or in between.
Forward.
Nice, and you would be. You test out great. And the second one is I am unclear. We'll see if you go forward, back, or in between.
Back.
Nice. And then the third one I do is I am running forward. And we'll see if you go forward. And that's body, mind, spirit, relationships, money. We at least want to have the car in drive so we can start testing things.
Ooh, I'm in between right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to change it real quick for you. And all I'm doing is my liquid fish. And then you'll feel it drift forward when it goes to yes.
Whoa. Okay. I just went forward.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's spirit. And we're just tapping in. You know, it's kind of my joke to people would be it's kind of a combination of physics and the Holy Spirit. So here we go. But it doesn't matter if you are a God person, Jesus person, atheist, it wouldn't matter. It would still pull you all around the room. And that's what makes it fascinating and even somewhat undeniable. So right now, as you know, Mercury retrograde is just a big mess. And certainly it's everybody. And people might say, oh, astrologically, I don't buy into that or whatever. But it's like, hey, grab a farmer's almanac. This has been going on for eons, right? And really, there are major fishing times and hunting times, according to even the Farmer's Almanac, which goes back, well over 100 years. And the tides affect things too, in the moon. And so whether it's good fishing, poor fishing, high tide, low tide, major feeding times, and that sort of thing. And any ER doctor would tell you, certainly on a full moon, it's almost like the ER is packed, and there's a lot of cray-cray going on, as you know. Yeah. And so we won't of it. I don't want to really buy into it that heavily, but you certainly want to be aware of it. Pretty much people, it's okay to complete things during this time, which it started early in January and it'll run till the end of January, as you know. So it's okay to pretty much complete things or finalize things, or if you're looking to buy a house or a car or whatever, and you've been looking for 6 months, it's okay to finalize it during this time, but I wouldn't initiate anything new until probably February 1st anyway. The other thing that's interesting was, having callers all over the world and morning, noon, and night here, have clients in person and phone and Skype, is incredible amount of breakups in relationships. And so hopefully the goal being, as you know, 2016, I think, is making way for things to improve, to get better. And
absolutely great ease.
Better energy coming in even around Valentine's Day-ish, and certainly spring and beyond for a lot of people. And hopefully everybody that's on the call right now, we're going to ask for the highest and best to come to them. What would you change or make different? They're your callers, so.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what. I'm a big person with the words peace and joy, and abundance. Those,
love that.
Yeah. So those are three things that stand out to me.
Yeah, let's drop in some peace right now for you and everyone who ever hears this, and it'll pull you forward when it comes in.
Yep. Whoa. Wow. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You go. And I like joy too. And let's bring that in for you, and everyone who ever hears the sound of my voice will experience some profound joy and the feelings of joy here now.
Got it. Yep.
And your third one?
Abundance. Let's go financial abundance, actually.
I love it. It's coming in now.
Yep. Wow, that was a big pull.
Yeah, it is a big pull. And you'll hear, of course, in my Skype calls at least, it sounds like choo-choo trains and submarines, and a lot of times it's the energy, as you know. So
absolutely.
Past that. The other thing I like really is strengthening good fortune for everyone. And it's past money. It's like, and I know we all want to get that best parking space at the supermarket or the mall. You just want to kind of have things. Gosh, you'd be the only person that got called on standby for a flight, that sort of thing. That's more good fortune thing. So let's just drop all that in for everyone right now who's listening and ever hears the sound of my voice.
Got it. Yep.
You'll hear that, and that's kind of the echo spirit right there. So it's interesting. Nice.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, that's going to help a lot too. So.
Jimmy, it's fascinating to me because I was telling you during the break that I've had so many clients and students and listeners that have, continued to listen to the replay of the show in August and, have continued to do that process of standing north and, listening to what you're saying and being pulled. And so many people that were like skeptic and went into this thinking like, no way, and then are getting pulled like, holy mackerel, like that's doing something. And, it blows my mind because even though I am so open to all of this, it's such a natural like force that's pushing you. It's not your body moving. It's not, feeling woozy or, anything like that. It's literally like a magnetic pull. And it's an incredible, incredible feeling.
It really is. It's just, it's undeniable. And I would say to that, it doesn't matter eyes open, eyes closed. It's not going to matter. Pendulum's the same thing. People douse and use a pendulum, and they could be in a basement in Cincinnati, and, they might get, hey, I've got pneumonia, and it tests as yes, and I'm going to change it to no, and they're watching the pendulum go to no, and they're like, mind equals blown, right? It's like, how is that possible? But that's what we're doing. Do they immediately have no pneumonia? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But we'll certainly have a higher propensity to get well faster than if we didn't do it.
Absolutely.
And one of my best friends says, I know this works because there's no amount of money that you would accept for talking on the phone with strangers. It's his joke for having known me about 30 years, right? So, but the point is, I'm so on fire about it because I've seen it work over and over and over again miraculously, and in a variety of different belief structures. People have zero belief. I'll tell you, and to talk to your point, I had a couple that flew all the way from Paris, France, and came to my home. The wife was gorgeous and sweet and nice, and she spoke perfect French and perfect English, and her husband was a big man, and he did not speak one lick of English, and of course, other than croissant, I don't speak French. So he stood in front of me, and we worked on him, and she and I spoke, and we'd write things down behind him, and it was pulling him all over the living room. So that's when it starts to get a little dicey, like, okay, who's in this room? And you're looking up at the ceiling going, the observer, God, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, somebody's listening to this, right?
Right.
It's like, this guy we can't even communicate, and it's pulling him around the room. So
absolutely,
it's kind of interesting. And
it
always, it keeps me inspired and excited about it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jimmy, we've got to take a quick break. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to the Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond. When we come back, we're going to take our first caller. So please give us a call, 800-930-2819. I cannot wait for you guys to connect in with Jimmy. You're going to love this. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you about my town. I'm going to tell you a big fat story, baby. It's all about my town. Yeah, down by the river. Down by the banks of the river Charles.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Vadili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Listen live to The Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond. Kelly is a fourth-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in to The Kelly Ballard Show, Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425 451-0404.
Hi, I'm Tim Darter.
And I'm Steve Kramer.
Join us on Spirit Fire Radio. Discover how to add the mechanics of meditation to your day.
And watch yourself connect in a whole new way. Find the amazing moments in life's routines that often pass us by. Add to your awareness with Spirit Fire Radio.
Tune in each Wednesday at 9 a.m. for your weekly guide to practical mindfulness. And to learn more, visit www.spiritfireradio.com.
Living Kabbalah. Experience the fruits of the tree of life. In this 10-month Ascension program, Kabbalah unlocks the potential of your own divine nature to know and accomplish your unique purpose in life. Get ready for real and lasting change.
Enroll now for this 10-month Ascension program starting January 30th through 31st. Visit 10thhouse.org. That's 10thhouse.org today to learn more.
Song of the Heart, Walking the Path of Light, from author and healer Francine Vale, is available now. Through Francine's life story, we learn how imperative it is to love one another. Once this simple truth is learned, peace on earth will prevail. Song of the Heart is a life lived and a story told for this purpose. To learn more about Francine and her amazing gifts, or to order your copy of the book today, visit angelsandlightbeings.com.
Should have seen by the look in my eyes, baby, there was something missing. You should have known by the tone of my voice.
Hey, we're back on the Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond, with me, Kelly Ballard. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/reflectiveharmony, KMB, for some tidbits from today's show. And I'll also have a link up there to Jimmy's website so you can check out more information on him, and that's jimmymackhealing.com. So, Jimmy, are you ready to get into our first caller?
Oh, you bet.
Fantastic. So, Jimmy, we have Aileen from New Jersey who's calling. Hey, Aileen, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Oop, Aileen,
First time
are you
I'm
there?
calling in. Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I can hear you much better now. Aileen, meet
Can
Jimmy.
you hear me now?
Jimmy,
Okay.
Aileen.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? What's going on?
Hi. My question is, I have a lot of anxiety about having a surgery coming up on January 28th.
Okay.
I don't know, not that informed about Mercury and retrograde, but I do know it's a few days after supposedly it ends.
Yeah.
On the 25th, and my surgery is the 28th. And I just have a lot of anxiety.
I feel
I'm not
good about it.
usually...
And it was set up before all that happened, so I believe you're gonna be just fine on all that. If you want to stand up and feel the energy, we'll rock it out right now. If you're standing up, you can face due north.
Yes.
It's going to pull you forward for yes, and you can just say your name, Eileen. My name is Eileen.
Yes, my name is Aileen.
And it'll pull you forward.
Okay.
You'll feel a slight drift going forward.
I think so.
And if you say, my name's Nemo the fish, it'll pull you backwards.
My name is Nemo the fish.
You feel it back?
My spine.
You feel it drift backwards a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need is a little bit, honey. So you can just say, I have anxiety or worry about my surgery coming up. It's going to pull you forward if you say it out loud.
And just not feeling good for a long time. And I think I just don't know if it's going to make me feel better or worse. I think I just have anxiety.
I get it's going to be a game changer. I get it's going to be a lot better. So whatever it is, doesn't matter.
Right,
but
cool.
if you say right now, I have anxiety towards that surgery, if you say that out loud, it's going to pull you forward to yes.
Okay. Yes.
And you'll feel the drift going forward, and that's us going in and grabbing that anxiety, if you will, and the stress of it all. And we're going to pull all that out and release it. And you're going to feel a drift pulling you backwards when it leaves.
Okay.
Feel it?
Mm-hmm.
It feels different, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And that's anxiety leaving you on an energetic pattern, okay, spiritually. But I feel like it's going to be okay when I ask my peoples, if you will. You schedule it before retrograde. It's outside of retrograde. I'm not concerned about all that. And I feel like it's going to be successful. So I would just do everything I could to prepare for that and get past it and be done with it. So, does that help?
Yeah. And I was just wondering if I somehow get on the path of just feeling better, stronger. I was just wondering if you see anything, if I get on the path of feeling stronger and healthier.
Yeah, it feels like certainly you're looking at springtime after recovery from this. I mean, they're talking to me about literally the day spring starts kind of thing. So from then on out, definitely, I would be doing something, yoga, tai chi, qigong, something that interests you, eating as clean as possible, taking some supplements. Generally, people, I would take their vitamins and flush them right down the toilet. People are generally mineral deprived, so you need to be taking some multi-minerals. I love multi-minerals in particular. But when I hear your energy of your voice, it has kind of a frailty to it. Not that you're frail, but it's very light-hearted and very like a little dragonfly they're showing me. So you're like sweet and kind and that sort of thing. So sometimes it may feel like you're getting crushed by the world and you actually have a lot of overwhelm. And it's almost like a paralysis of not knowing which way to turn. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and that's you. And so we're just going to delete all that off of you, too, and give you some breathing room and release it, resolve it, surrender it all out now. Have her learn all the lessons she needed to from it. Release her from it, past, present, and future. You're going to feel it drift backwards when it leaves you. And here it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. And that's going to help you a lot, too. Okay?
Good. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm thrilled to meet you live and talk to you. And I feel like it's going to be a game changer for you. I feel like it's going to turn around. And like I said, about spring on, things should go a lot better for you. Okay?
All right, great.
And thanks for calling.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Haley, best of luck. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, Jimmy, I've got a question for you here.
Sure.
What are there areas of like the country or the world that you see clients the most? Like, what would a typical client be like? Men, woman, issues?
Yeah, it's all over the globe. Really, I have Skype worldwide. I have a lot of phone clients. I have everything from movie stars to what my mother calls the terribly wealthy to, blue collar people to whatever. And so I think everybody has got their share of, whatever it may be. So I really feel like once you get down to it being energy, then it's an energetic shot at changing a lot of things. So I've had a lot. What you're really asking, they're saying, is specialties of things.
Yes.
So I've had some really good fortune in obviously money, changing things for people like that. I just had a guy who wrote me, and he's doing phenomenally better even in the stock market. Although right now everything is like really crazy. But we did a half-hour session just directly in tune with the stock market and him, and we changed a lot of different weird things, and he's doing better in that. Eyes and senses, I have a lot of great luck with. Hearing, sight, bone things, arthritis, so a lot of unusual things like that, really.
Do you find that people,
viral stuff too, a lot of virus, CMV, Epstein-Barr, Lyme's, and I have a lot of great luck with the viruses as well. So it just depends on what's going on.
Oh, sure. Now let me ask you this: do you find, Jimmy, that do you deal with like people coming like with Aileen talking about anxiety, for example?
Mm-hmm.
Do you find you have a lot of people that often you'll work with from like a mental health perspective, even?
Yes. Again, it's phone and Skype, and I don't fall down the the how's it going therapy loop.
Right.
my good friend says, Jimmy, there's nothing wrong with your clients that 100 years of counseling wouldn't cure, but who's got the time or the money, you know? So I'm more of the speed guy. I don't do quote unquote by the book life coaching and go, we'll talk again next week and finish those 10 tasks. You know, I'm like, hit it and get going and let's really change things for you and, you know, push you back in the game. So, that's me. I want to go and see what we can all get away with together, you know, and create some real change. And so,
well, I guess let me rephrase my question to you. So like for instance, I just got a message on Facebook here from someone asking, like, do you work with people where you could look at issues with like mental health? So,
sure. If you're talking, you're talking about yeah, of course, depressive people, you know, she might have had quote unquote anxiety about that. And, you know, you could call it anxiety or stress or just apprehension on surgery. I deal with a lot of clients around the world that are pre-op, operative, post-op. I would work on them energetically even during the time of the operation and then work on them afterwards. You know, to improve recovery time. I actually had a client, and he's a riot. They did a throat surgery on him, and I worked on him before, during, and after. And when he came out of recovery, he could speak, and the doctors about passed out in the room because no one had ever been able to speak. And, you know, it was like a thyroid operation. Also, he did something with his vocal cords, I think, or I don't remember now, but you know, they about all passed out on the floor when he started speaking like regular. And so that's the kind of thing that happens. And, you know, I always say to Spirit, show me and tell me beyond all knowing it could have only come from you. And so the point is, you know, impress me. I dare you to impress me. And so that's impressive when that happens. And, you know, I give all the glory to Spirit anyway. But, you know, that's how you know they're listening and things are actually shifting.
Absolutely. Jimmy, we need to take a quick break. If you guys are interested in connecting in with Jimmy to do some private work with him, you can find Jimmy at jimmymackhealing.com, and I'll have that link up on my Facebook page in just a moment. When we return, we're going to continue to take callers and chat with the very fantastic Jimmy Mack, medical, intuitive, spiritual life coach, and author. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm just mad about saffron. Saffron's mad about me. I'm just mad about saffron. She's just mad about me. They call me mellow yellow, quite rightly.
Hi, I'm Tim Darter.
And I'm Steve Kramer.
Join us on Spirit Fire Radio. Discover how to add the mechanics of meditation to your day.
And watch yourself connect in a whole new way. Find the amazing moments in life's routines that often pass us by. Add to your awareness with Spirit Fire Radio.
Tune in each Wednesday at 9 a.m. for your weekly guide to practical mindfulness. And to learn more, visit www.spiritfireradio.com.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Listen live to The Kelly Ballard Show, insight and inspiration from the great beyond. Kelly is a fourth-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in to The Kelly Ballard Show, Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Living Kabbalah. Experience the fruits of the tree of life. In this 10-month Ascension program, Kabbalah unlocks the potential of your own divine nature to know and accomplish your unique purpose in life. Get ready for real and lasting change.
Enroll now for this 10-month Ascension program starting January 30th through 31st. Visit 10thhouse.org. That's 10thhouse.org today to learn more. Has asthma or allergies got you singing the raspy blues? Allergy and Asthma Networks is the nation's premier nonprofit patient-centered network of doctors, caregivers, patients, and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to ending death and suffering due to asthma, allergies, and related conditions. Join President and CEO Tanya Winders each month on the Dr. Pat Show to learn more and visit allergyasthmanetwork.org today. Breathe better together with Allergy and Asthma Network.
Awaken to your radiant, authentic self. For over 15 years, Soul Purpose Advocate Nancy Monson has been focused on leading change in the lives of those looking to live their true purpose. She is devoted to supporting people in living a soul-directed life every day. Let Nancy help you overcome fear, worry, and doubt. Visit everydayspirituality.com to learn how Nancy can be your soul purpose advocate.
Song of the Heart, Walking the Path of Light, from author and healer Francine Vale, is available now. Through Francine's life story, we learn how imperative it is to love one another. Once this simple truth is learned, peace on earth will prevail. Song of the Heart is a life lived and a story told for this purpose. To learn more about Francine and her amazing gifts, or to order your copy of the book today, visit angelsandlightbeings.com.
Hey, we're back on the Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond, with me, Kelly Ballard. I so appreciate you spending time with me today. As a medium and intuitive consultant, I work with Spirit daily to provide my clients with answers, insight, and inspiration from their loved ones on the other side. You can always find more information about my services at reflectiveharmony.com. We have some time left for callers, so if you guys want to give a call and talk with Jimmy and resolve some of those energetic funks, you can reach us at 800-930-2819. That's 800-930-2819. I'd love for you to have an opportunity to connect in with him. For those of you who might just be tuning in, Jimmy is a medical, intuitive, spiritual life coach and author. You're going to absolutely want to listen to the replay of this show, which can be found on Transformation Talk Radio or on the archives of my website tomorrow. And Jimmy, can you, before I got a few questions for you here, but before we get into that, can you let our guests know once again how they can find you online?
You bet. It's www.jimmymackhealing.com. It's JIMMYMACKHEALING.com.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, Jimmy, I'd asked you before we went, what kind of clients or challenges that you work with and things of that nature. But what's next for you? What do you think? What journeys are next with Spirit, do you think?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I feel like this year is going to be a lot better for a lot of people. I mean, there's shakeups right now, obviously, in the stock market and all the rest of it. But I feel like, springtime on is going to be fantastic for a lot of folks. And, I'm just forever like you getting just bombarded in a good way with new and unending really material. I'm working on a little book right now. It's basically going to be somewhat called The Words. So many times there's people that will do a million types of forms of healing, and they won't come up with a word. So if you had esophageal cancer or depression or gout or preoperative surgery challenges or whatever it might be, there are certain words we've figured out over time that could make a difference and actually be a game changer or shake some of those things loose and actually change them. And, to your point, before we went on break, it's really about changing the energy in all these different things. So it gets a little dicey to narrow down exactly what my specialty is as far as all that goes. But I would say to all of it, my joke to everybody is if you break water, go to the hospital. If you break your arm, go to the hospital. If the doctors shrug and go, we don't know what to do, go take these pills and good luck, or don't get the book War and Peace, then it's not going to hurt you to reach out to you and me and see what we can change together. And I'd add to that, interestingly enough, whether it might be Reiki that you do or the type of healing I do, and just any type of healing per se, all of it, the longer I do this, the more I kind of decided that while we're doing these things and playing in the corner with the crayons, if you will, Spirit's changing an awful lot of it anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so it's kind of funny because people every day will go, what should I do? What should I study? What should I? And I'm like, whatever. What do you want to do? Whatever interests you. And so I love that quote in the Bible under Corinthians, which is, people will have speaking in tongues, interpretation of tongues, healing by the laying on of hands. And so everybody's got kind of their different little talent and their different little thing, and you're obviously intuitive and have had a long lineage of that. And so, but not everybody can do that, and right. People don't come to me for readings. I would send them to you for readings. But, if they forever can't heal gout or have a lump in their throat they don't want to go do surgery on, then, we'll wing it and see what we can get away with. And that's really the way I look at it. So.
And of course, Jimmy, on your website, you have like a truckload of audio MP3s and books that are available for people as well, correct?
Yes. And the audio MP3s, gosh, they take probably 6 months to a year to do each one. And everything is in there from, sex to physical ailments to mental issues you touched on earlier to travel, the holidays. I mean, there's just endless topics in there that have been downloaded from Spirit over time, and those are audio MP3s, and they play on the phone or the computer in the car or whatever. And the books are on there as well, both hard copy books and of course PDF and Kindle. So everything's live on the site as far as products go. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that. And yeah, there's no big fantasy money in books as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Say, oh my God, Jimmy, I want to write a book. I want it. I'm like, well, I don't think you're going to make the car payment on it unless, you have Aunt Oprah touting you.
Right.
Right. Because otherwise it's like Amazon 70 cents on the dollar is what they get. Most people don't know that, but until they get in it. But the point is I really want to help people and contribute. And so, the books are really kind of a guide to make it easier for you to actually have the rudimentary skills to at least do what I do. And if you can get your head around that, boy, you can really make some profound changes in your life. And ultimately, it's the joke of you feed a man a fish, he eats for the day, but you teach a man to fish and he eats for a lifetime. And so that's where I'm coming from.
Absolutely. And it's fascinating to me, Jimmy, because when I think it was over the summer, I had a conversation with you outside of the radio, and there was a lot of medical things that you picked up, and we used my liquid fish to work out, and issues that I haven't had problems with since. So it's been really for anybody who's listening that maybe is kind of maybe on the fence or thinking about wanting to call you to have more of a private or a personal conversation, I would so encourage you to do it. It's completely worth it. And as much as I believe in a lot of things, but I still consider myself in some ways a skeptic.
Yeah,
And it knocked my socks off, and it's a good feeling, to be able to have some of those things released. And one of the things, Jimmy, we were emailing even about before the show was, you've worked with people for weight loss, addiction to love, food, cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, toxic people and relationships. Sure. So it's probably really like endless what somebody can work with you doing.
True. Yeah, that's true too. And like we said early on, it's all energy. And so, they got to be willing to make that change. You have to come to a place where, hey, I'm so frustrated with whatever else has gone on or Western medicine or whatever.
Right.
Nothing else is working for me, so we may as well give it a try. And energetically, they might be shocked at what we change. And so, you yourself experience that. And it isn't just private or HIPAA, it's sacred. So I never mention anything ever again on anybody or people. And, movie stars would have you sign non-disclosure agreements anyway. But the point is, it's, we never know what we're going to get. Gosh, if somebody came to me with arthritis and high blood pressure and gout and headaches and insomnia, and it's like, they might come back a week or two later and they still have everything, but they've been sleeping every night since. So, hey, was that worth it? I think so. So obviously always swinging for the fence, but we never know what we're going to get. And I think that's what keeps it really interesting.
Absolutely. Well, it's hard to believe, but our show is over. It flew by, and I cannot wait to connect in with all of my wonderful listeners next week. I need to thank my amazing guest, Jimmy Mack, for sharing his time and energy back on the show. Jimmy, thank you. It was fantastic having you back on, and I wish you all the best.
I appreciate it. Thanks again for having me.
You're welcome. And if you guys want more information about Jimmy, you can connect with him on his website, jimmymackhealing.com, and that's also listed up on my Facebook page. Thank you all for sharing your time, energy, and vibration with me today. And thank you for tuning into the Kelly Ballard Show, Insight and Inspiration from the Great Beyond on Transformation Talk Radio. Please join me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Have a great week. Be open to the awesomeness of the universe. And thank you for allowing me to serve spirit. Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to The Kelly Ballard Show, insight and inspiration from the great beyond. Kelly Ballard is a fourth-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from your loved ones on the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in every week and visit www.reflectiveharmony.com to learn more about Kelly and the services she provides. Thanks for listening.